I'm just gonna reveal my my secrets. I have one credit card and there's $40,000 of debt that I owe on it. And then there's another card I've maxed out. I'm actually over the limit, 7,000. Then there's another one that's like 6,000. I'm unemployed. I owe student loans, obviously, and that's like 120K. And you know what I'm not doing? Stressing.
So that one's already a lot to break down. I think we're starting on a really, I'm not gonna say a good one because that's not good overall, but ooh, that's a lot. I mean, he started with the 40, then the 6K, then the 7K, and the all maxed out, and then he has the student loan. So even just the cards alone is only already like 53,000. So that's already a lot. Still that much, I would assume early 20 age, 2021, 22. Hopefully graduating soon at that debt level of 120K. That's a total of 173,000 and he hasn't even hit 30, hasn't even got a mortgage. So I hope it works out. I hope he has a good degree somewhere that pays really well. I hope it's not a degree that is like competitive in terms of like not the best pay, in terms of also hard to find a job. But if you can find something, then it works out. But it's a lot of debt. We started off with a strong one, but let's see how the next one goes.
So I'm about $3,000 in credit card debt. But as of over a week ago, I'm now $2,545.73 in credit card debt. This is day 9 of the series where I DoorDash to pay off my credit card debt. I'm only working off paying one card right now.
So I guess we're just gonna break down just one card right now. She has maybe other ones, and I guess it depends on like interest rate. And I'm sure you've heard Dave Ramsey talk about it. You usually want to knock out the cards with like the highest interest rate and then just work your way down from that, which is always a good way to tactic. Just might as well tackle the ones that are charging the most to borrow that money. But I think I just want to go into a bit of like, I guess like a tangent here. Just, I know it's not ideal and sometimes maybe it's your primary job, let's say doing DoorDashing, Postmates, or whatever that may be, more like contractual jobs that we've seen, the gig economy jobs. But maybe you have a full-time job and you know it's like your bills are not going to go down and you want to, I guess, supplement the lifestyle with extra pay and you won't necessarily spend more, you know, lifestyle inflation. You could, I guess, and again, do like Postmates again. You could just do it part-time. Again, you pick your hours and everything. Maybe after you clock out of work, maybe you clock out, maybe you're already in a busy area, like let's say downtown LA, let's just say. And instead of going back home, might as well just get some, I guess, some extra money out of the way. Eat, of course, after work too, but you know, you can make some extra money. And I'm not saying this is always the best pay. I think for this video, she did have like a decent hourly, at least for this example, but it's not always the best.
It's the only one accumulates interest. I owe $1,488.98 on that one. Yesterday's DoorDash, I made $63. I'm hoping to make more today. I really didn't want to go. My sister had to motivate me to go. I'm serious. It's 6 o'clock right now. I already have the app started up. I'm already on an order. I need to make $250 this week on DoorDash, so let's get it going and see how much we can make. This is a double order for $13.
Yeah, she made like $250 last week. Let's say she owed the $2,500 on that one card. Over 10 weeks, she would pay it off. So about like 2.5 months. It's not ideal. Again, some people hope to pay off something that quicker, but sometimes you don't have that option. Maybe this is her only income. Maybe it's the only thing she has to deal with. Maybe no other debts. Her car as well too, which she doesn't have to pay gas on and everything. I hope she's considering that. Maybe she is, maybe she's not. But again, you really got to consider your maintenance, gas, insurance. You know, anything could happen. You get a flat tire, you got to pay for that as well too. So I think that's something people don't always consider. They see it as just like, oh, I made this $950 as you see. And that's it. But no, you gotta, unfortunately, you gotta deduct how much gas you spend, overall take into the cost of maintenance that you spend over the course of a year. And sometimes some years are obviously higher than others, but it's just like, you really gotta consider all this when you do like, especially like these gig things.
This one is for $9.50. This is a double order for $23. This one is for $9.50. So I ended up getting super dead. I stopped at 8 o'clock. I made $56.25.
Yeah, so she made about like this much in about, I'll let her say it.
It's not bad for only 2 hours. Now my total.
Yeah, in about 2 hours, so it's about a little under, what is that? 28 an hour. So it's not too bad again for just a quick thing that she just did on the side real fast. And again, hopefully she's considering her gas cost, insurance and everything. Again, it's not the things you really want to think about directly, but you should take in like an average of like mileage of like every mile you drive, you lose about like a certain amount of cents. I think that's already been like kind of roughly like averaged out for most cars. I'm not sure what car she's in exactly, but definitely something to consider.
When I was 23, I had $25,000 worth of credit card debt, and now I am 25 and debt-free, other than what we put on our credit card and pay off each month. As somebody who has paid off a lot of credit card debt for my age, I'm going to give you a couple of my top tips for getting out of credit card debt. With it being the holiday season, I would set very realistic expectations for my
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot for this video. I won't go through the full 2 minutes and 26 seconds, but I think one of the biggest takeaways, maybe, I think especially at a younger age, if you can fortunately live with your parents still, hopefully you have like no issues. I take advantage of that. If you don't have a rent payment, mortgage payment, that's obviously gonna be usually the biggest bill that anyone has for like on a monthly, month to month. So she can definitely save that. Even if let's say it's like 1,500, or even if she's somewhere where it's not as expensive, maybe she pays 600-800 and she's in a single bedroom shared with like other, I guess, like roommates and everything. It won't be as expensive, but if you could save that 800 and put it back towards your bills, whatever, any money that you've borrowed, obviously that speeds up how fast you pay it off. So that's probably the big thing. Car thing, of course, too. A lot of people are buying expensive cars. It's not even a simple just like car note of just, even if you get like a nice $400 payment in terms of like your car bill for finance, that's still money. And you got to consider like the gas bill and everything to pay, to run the car, of course, and insurance and maintenance and everything. But let's see what else she has to say.
my family and my friends / loved ones of how I can afford to show up for Christmas this year. There's obviously so much pressure online and on social media to go crazy with the Christmas shopping, but ultimately your loved ones do not want you going into credit card debt just to get them a Christmas gift. I would not put every single penny from my bank account onto my credit card balance. That is a perfect situation for getting yourself deeper into credit card debt. A lot of people end.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people just like, especially like during Christmas season, holiday season, of course, there's birthdays throughout the year for your family, of course, your friends and everything. Is just, there's always going to be like that, oh, this came up, oh, this came up, I got to pay for that. Or, oh, I want to buy Emily a gift. Or, oh, I got to buy Danny this and that. Or I want to gift them this. Or I owe him some money as well, too. And you're always going to keep going like, oh, I got to do this week. This weekend's like, I'll do next month. And it's just like, if you keep doing that, there's always going to be an excuse, which again, it happens. It's life. It's just things come up, expenses come out of nowhere. You get a flat tire, which might not be too much, but even then you still got to replace that. If not, hopefully just patch it. But yeah, there's always costs. And I think with like Christmas shopping, I'm not sure what everyone always does, but I think we want to save some money. Maybe you have a lot of cousins, maybe you have a big family, or you don't even sometimes. Instead of buying, let's say, even 10 family members or even 5 family members or your whole immediate family, maybe that might be already 3, 4, or 5 people. Do like a white elephant. So instead of buying everyone a gift, just it'd be a lot funner. You just buy one person and send a gift, or in a sense, then go to someone in that group. But it's a lot cheaper paying $40 than instead of like, let's say, maybe trying to buy everyone a $25 gift, let's say. It'd be a lot funner too. You get to like, of course, steal prizes and everything. So just an idea. If you're maybe struggling a bit with gifts, maybe do like a white elephant, even with your own kids. Let's just say instead of buying all 4, obviously you're still going to buy them all gifts, but they'll probably have a lot more fun if you get them all a cheaper gift, and they can all like kind of like split it out on who wins it, of course, when they play.
End up completely depleting their checking or savings account for the sake of paying off debt faster, but in reality, you need to have a solid emergency fund and amount in your checking account to simply...
Yeah, and I think that's something, you're always in here, emergency fund, have it for this, have it for that, just anything like I mentioned, just that could come up. I think it's always just good to have one instead of having to like borrow money, you know, from your credit card, and you're gonna obviously pay interest on that. Usually the average is 20 to 30%, so instead of paying that, just have like an emergency fund kind of just ready. In the long run, it'll probably cost you less to have an emergency fund than to borrow money from your credit card. Sure, if you have family members, take advantage of that a bit, of course, assuming they're willing to help you out, but don't always expect that either.
I was 40 grand in credit card debt a year ago today, and they just paid it off all today. So thank you guys all for paying off my credit cards.
So 40,000 of that, that's already a ton. Doesn't look like he's too old as well too, maybe somewhere in his 20s or early 30s, but that's a lot of debt to have, especially for that age. He didn't seem to say that it said someone else, or it doesn't seem like he paid off. I know the caption said that he did. I think he's thanking his viewers. I'm guessing his viewers maybe with these videos helps out pay for this stuff. But regardless, it's good to be thankful, but that's a lot of debt to build up that quickly, especially at a younger age. And I don't think it's a good spending habits. And obviously with time, it's like you could have spent that on other things, maybe put that down on like a down payment for a house, hopefully, depending on where you live. Of course, it does seem, not sure where he's at exactly. I would assume New York, but That might not, of course, be enough for a down payment for any house or an apartment, a condo. But again, it's better to just save that instead of just spending it on, let's just say, things that you can get your return back on. And again, it doesn't have to be about your return, but it does seem like 40,000 is a lot.
Because you supported what I wanted to do. I've been making content for like 5 years, and I financed my life on credit cards for a lot of those years because, you know,
Yeah, and I'll say that a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people live on the lifestyle of their credit cards. If it hasn't maxed out, then I can just keep using it. And I don't think it's the best mentality. Again, sometimes stick to cash or not actually have limits, or maybe have a credit card with like purposely where you set the limit low, you can contact your bank. Your bank. Sometimes they're willing to like lower it for you, and you can just work with that budget. So instead of having that, whatever, let's say 4 or 5K or even 10K budget or credit card utilization that they give you, maybe you only ask for like 1,000 so you don't go over that. Even though you could have more, sometimes it's better not to if you can't utilize it well.
When I was in 10 grand credit card debt, one simple thing that helped me so much, and this is a concept that comes from Dave Ramsey, I pulled out $100 every single week, and that was all that I had for food. And some weeks that meant that I got pizza and Starbucks. And some weeks that meant that I was eating baked potatoes every single day. But it was something that was so simple that helped me not only financially, but helped me physically.
Yeah, sometimes it's better. I think when we get a credit card, again, I think many of us do it. I do the same thing too. It's kind of just swipe it, or tap it, and you kind of just forget about it. And it's just like, you don't really think of like how much, like if you could have, like, let's say you picked up your card and you visually saw like a number of how much you owed on it. Maybe that would help. Maybe they should make credit cards like that. Obviously, that'd be expensive. It need to have like a screen and everything, but some way, because you know, you just see the card and you just simply tap it and it makes magic money, and magically your money goes to their bank, I guess, and pays for it. But you don't always like directly like connect it, like, oh, I spent X amount of money, or like you don't visually see like, oh, I actually already spent like 3,000 this month or something. So I think sometimes do cash, like I mentioned earlier, it's like maybe if you know your budget's 500 for the month, unfortunately, maybe just take out 500 cash. I know that's not always the funnest thing to do at the restaurant or anywhere you're going to, grocery store, and trying to pull out dimes and everything. But sometimes you need to do that. I think just visually seeing your money kind of disappear throughout the month on your spending habits will kind of like show you like, hey, I only have 20 bucks left for the next couple of days. Is it enough? Or I only have a couple hundred. Is it enough for the next 3 weeks? Maybe you splurge early in the month and you realize your budget is really bad, and it's just something to really consider. I want to just throw in this last one. I'm not going to play it. It has some music on it, but the caption says, they have no idea that I'm currently $700 in credit card debt and owe my college tuition, but it's Friday and they were promised McDonald's. And yeah, and I guess sometimes you kind of like, it shows the video on it with the siblings and just like, or siblings or friends, and just paying for the meal, and just sometimes you don't want to, even if this comes out to only 30, 40, 50 bucks, it's still money getting taken out of your credit card and you're going to pay interest on it. But luckily it's only $700 in credit card debt. Luckily, like with most jobs across the US, you could probably pay this off rather quickly compared to a couple thousand or 40,000 as we saw earlier. So again, it's not too bad. But again, it's good that he's, I guess in a good way, it's like, it's good that he made his video and he covered it's like 700. Everyone's like at different levels. It's relative. Some people owe 40,000. Some people just owe 3,000 or 2,500. Fortunately for his situation, it's only 700, so it's not too bad. And yeah, it's a little bit better, and hopefully it just deals with it. So again, if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Throw comments down below. I know we started off with a crazy video at the front, but yeah, we're going to keep covering these finance related videos.